Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right, Bills Mafia, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for our team and the entire AFC East. Rumors are swirling around the league, and they point to a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape our secondary and strengthen our Super Bowl hopes. The word on the street is that the Seattle Seahawks, currently sitting at 6-4 and dealing with some cap constraints and injury issues on their offensive line, might be open to moving one of their young and talented cornerbacks, Devon Witherspoon, to us, the Buffalo Bills. And let me tell you, if this deal goes through, it's going to be a major boost for us, especially in a division that's been filled with big plays and explosive offenses. Now I know what some of you are thinking. The Bills are sitting at 7-3, just behind the Dolphins and Jets in the AFC East, and we're always looking for ways to bolster our roster. With a cap situation that's tight with about -1. $13 million, we've had to get creative. But this move for Witherspoon, a versatile Pro Bowl cornerback, could be exactly what we need to take that next step. The Seahawks, meanwhile, are facing some tough decisions. They're 6-4, still in the playoff hunt, but their issues on the offensive line are well documented, especially with the pressure they're letting up on Geno Smith, who's been sacked 25 times. Their cap situation is tight, too, with only around $5 million left and plans to extend Josh Smith, which will hit their cap with a $210 million deal. To free up funds, they might be willing to part ways with Witherspoon, especially if they're eyeing a rebuild on offense after injuries to Woolen, their other star corner who's been out for 2 games with a concussion. The Seahawks seem to be prioritizing cap space and cap flexibility to make moves for their future, and releasing Witherspoon could be a strategic choice. They might be looking for a return that includes a second-round pick in 2026, and a 4th-rounder in 2027, a reasonable price considering Witherspoon's talent and potential. Remember, this kid is a 2025 draft pick, already showing flashes of shutdown ability. With 4 games played this season, 20 solo tackles, 8 assists, 28 combined tackles, and a handful of sacks and interceptions. His career stats are impressive: 12 interceptions, 200 tackles, 2 Pro Bowls, and an 88, 5 grade from PFF. He's allowed just 54% completion rate on throws his way, with an EPA per target of -0.28, which shows how disruptive he can be. His ability to neutralize the slot receiver, especially with 0 touchdowns allowed, makes him a perfect fit for our secondary, which needs that extra coverage against big plays and explosive offenses. For us, acquiring Witherspoon isn't just about adding another talented corner. It's about transforming our entire defensive approach. Currently, our secondary has been solid but not invincible, and we've missed that game-changing presence that can lock down the slot and force turnovers. Witherspoon's style, combined with Tre'Davious White and Dane Jackson, could make our secondary one of the fiercest in the league. His ability to intercept passes and shut down big threats will help us reduce the yards per pass allowed, which currently hovers around 6-9 yards and needs to come down to around 5-5. That reduction in big plays allowed, going from 16 to just 9 per game, would be a huge boost, especially against high-powered offenses like the Dolphins and Chiefs. And let's talk about the impact of this move. If we pull the trigger, projections suggest we could see an increase of about 4 interceptions over the rest of the season, which would directly translate into more turnovers and better field position. Our defense would be forcing more mistakes, and that's exactly what we need to push us further into the playoffs. Our pass defense rate could jump from 12% to around 29%, making it much tougher for opponents to find easy completions. Plus, it's not just about the stats, it's about how this change would shift the entire dynamic of our defense. We'd be more aggressive, more confident, and more capable of shutting down the big plays that have haunted us in the past. The ramifications go beyond just the secondary. With Witherspoon in the mix, our pass rush could benefit too. We'd see more pressure on the quarterback, freeing Ed Oliver and Greg Rousseau to get after Geno Smith and other QBs. Our rush stats, like the 5 sacks from Ed Oliver could see a bump as teams try to avoid throwing into our lockdown corners. It's all about creating that domino effect, one move leading to a series of improvements across the defense. Now, the big question is about the playoff picture. With Witherspoon in the fold, our odds of making a deep run increase significantly. The Super Bowl odds could shift from around +1,500 to as low as +600, making us even more of a threat. He could be the X factor we need in the playoffs, just like he was in college, where he made game-changing plays and showed he can handle the pressure. If he's the kind of player who can step up in critical moments, then Buffalo's chances of winning more games and going farther in the postseason skyrocket. This move could be the final piece of the puzzle to forge a championship-ready team, especially with our offense firing on all cylinders and Josh Allen leading the charge. Speaking of Allen, imagine how much more comfortable he'll feel knowing that the secondary can handle the big plays, allowing him to take those calculated risks downfield. Our offense has been dynamic, but football's a game of inches, and turnovers can be the difference between a win and a loss. With Witherspoon's ball-hawking skills, those turnovers could become more frequent, giving us extra possessions and momentum when it matters most. It's about transforming our defense from reactive to proactive, from good to elite. This trade could be that catalyst. Of course, not everyone is going to love giving up a couple of draft picks, especially in the future. But if it means securing a player of Witherspoon's caliber, it's a gamble worth taking. The Bills have shown that they're willing to be aggressive when it counts, and this is exactly the kind of move that can put us over the top. Remember, this isn't just about adding a player. It's about changing the entire complexion of our secondary and making us a nightmare for opposing offenses. And let's not forget the history here. Our team has always been about resilience, smart moves, and seizing opportunities. With this potential acquisition, we'd be setting the tone for the rest of the season and beyond, signaling that the Bills are all in on their Super Bowl aspirations. We've got the talent, the coaching, and now maybe, just maybe, the perfect addition to finally push us over that edge. So Bills Mafia, keep your eyes peeled because if this trade goes down, it's going to be one of the most exciting moves of the season. It's about building a defense that can dominate, creating a team that's tough to beat, and setting up our franchise for sustained success. This is what we've been waiting for, a bold move that says we're here to contend, here to win, and here to make history. The future looks bright, and with Witherspoon in our corner, it could look even brighter. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like in this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Witherspoon is the missing piece that can carry us all the way to a Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. We want to know if you're as excited as I am about the possibility of upgrading our secondary and making this team even more dangerous. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. Let's keep this conversation going, keep that passion burning, and get ready for what might be one of the most exciting periods of Bills football in recent memory. Let's go, Buffalo!